Well, my friend, at this AM, I am inspired to share with you a few keys of how to graciously move through hard time. Now, being humans, it doesn't matter who you are, what your gender is, what your status in life is. We all gonna go through time that is difficult. And it's not about what we do, it's about how we do it that determine our experience, right? And you here, in my community, I believe that you want to experience more within yourself. You want to experience more in life. And in that, I think it's really important of how we connect to ourselves and how we show up in the moment. That what make the difference. You know, one of the um, the conversation that I had with my clients, I think a few weeks ago, about where she's at in her life. And one of the things that I observed, that we sometimes get caught up in the trap of, you know, we connect, we associate where we are in our life right now because of who we are, right? Because, and then we beat ourselves for it. But the truth is, where you are in your life right now, my friend, is not because of who you are. It's the byproduct of who you were up to this point, all the decisions that you made up to this point, all the choices you made up to this point, which the past, you and I know that we cannot change. Even though emotionally sometimes we wish we can, right? But we cannot change the past. And the beautiful thing is, who you are and who you choose to be right now get to determine your experience right now and get to determine your experience in the future. So in that essence, I may have said this in a different video or a different conversation with you before, is that who you are, the circumstance that you're experiencing is not who you are. How you feeling, what you feeling right now is not who you are. What you thinking is not who you are. Who you are is the person, it's a soul that experience all of that through this body. Who you are is who you choose to be in this moment moving forward. And that 100% on you, and that's 100% in your power, and that's 100% in your control, you know. And another conversation that I had with my clients, I feel like I'm going off what I'm planning to talk about, but I'm just gonna flow with this. That is a lot of time when we in hard time, we try to decide, discerning, okay, as a high achiever, as a wholehearted, I want to do something, I want to make change, I want to control, right? And I also learn about surrendering, about letting go. So when do I let go? When do I hold on? Do you ask yourself the questions? So the conversation I had with my other clients, different clients this time, and maybe I can share, I can share and shed some light with you this. And I'm sure, I believe Byron Katie, she's the one that wrote the book, Loving What Is. If you haven't already, I highly recommend it. She was referencing the three different kind of business. My business is in my control. Your business in your control. And there's the third business that not in my control, your control. That's life business or God business, that you believe in God. And if we can find the distinctions between the three, what in your control and what in somebody else's control, what in God control, that make life so much easier. So that's the reference of this video, and I'm not even going to those points yet. I'm gonna make it difficult for my VA to transcribe this video because I'm not following my own my own lineup. But you know what? That is a flow when you live in the AM. So some of the things that I wrote down here is to perhaps help you move through the hard time, because this is something that I personally use for myself and help other people. Because here's the thing. The reason why I end up doing this work, teaching these things, because I am a life student at heart, right? I was being put in my position to do this work. It wasn't in my lifeline. So I'm just flowing with life much as I can. All right, my friend, I'm gonna honor the thought process of how can you move through your hard time graciously. Whether winter in Hawaii is cold, you know, whether you are going through a relationship challenge, heartbreak, that's one of the worst pain, financial hardship, emotional hardship, mental hardship, life hardship, children hardship. We all have stuff. We all have our moment at different time in our life. And most of the time, when things happen, they happen. It's not in our control. So key number one that I would invite you to do is to stop making worse than it is. Because whatever happened right now is it's not a problem, but what we do is we make it a problem, and then we give it so much meaning, and then we try to add problem on top of the challenge itself. It simply is what we call is life. What is called is life is when we fall in love. Sometimes it worked, most of the time it worked out, sometimes it doesn't work out. What's called life is when you play the game, sometimes you get the job and you get a highest race, sometimes you lose the job. Right? You gain new thing, you lose new thing. That's life. And I believe that's part of being a human experience. Because imagine if you go to a game, a sport game, already know that what's going to happen, and actually try to watch the game that there's no losing, or it's like one team just keep winning, there's no tension back and forth. It makes the game not exciting. So look at your life as a game. Being a spiritual being in this human body, if things go good all the time, life will be so boring, right? And I know some of you may not agree with me in that, because when we're in this space, we're like, well, why? I want to feel good all the time. Try to eat your favorite food for a straight month and see how it goes. Can you do that for the whole straight month for the next year? No, you can't. You get bored of it. That's what's called human. So I'm kind of passing my point. But my point number one is to stop making things worse than it is, and just stop giving it more thought than it needs to be, except for allowing what it is. Right? So that's the first thing. And the second things I want to cover in this videos is one of the popular concepts, the 5 stages of grief. If you Google this, I forgot the person name who came up with this. The 5 stages of grief is denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance, right? And not only specific to grief, but I think when you go to any particular hard time that you get discouraged, we go through this kind of similar process anyway. When things don't work out, it doesn't have to be heart related. It doesn't have to be that you lose someone. It's when life doesn't work out, you're going through a hard time. We kind of naturally go through this 5 stages of grief. I'm actually add a little more, because the first things is you denial, like that's not happening. I can't believe that's happening, right? That's just a human thing that we go through. And then we go to the next part. We get angry about the situation. We get angry at someone, right? And you left to that, and then usually after anger is, if you really allow yourself to feel, you're gonna feel hurt, you're gonna feel sad, you're gonna feel disappointed. There's this other series of feeling after anger before we go to bargaining. Okay, and the bargaining is we trying to negotiate with ourselves. We're trying to negotiate with God. Oh my God, I'll do better. Maybe I could have done. Like that's just a natural human thing. But what happened is, when we don't allow ourselves to be human, we stay in one of these stages for a long ass time, and you end up suffer unnecessary for a long time. So if I could get this through, my friend, stop. Make yourself suffer more than you need to, because life is painful itself. So let that be painful. Because when you lose a job, that's painful. When you lose your loved one, that's painful. When you lost money, that's painful. That's life. When you hurt yourself, that's painful. But you don't need to suffer through it. Okay? And then after bargaining, we go to depressions, right? When things don't work, we go into a very deep apathy state. Our heart gets disheartened. That's natural. That's normal human thing. But then those are not the problem. The problem is we make those things a problem. The problem is you make yourself being humans a problem. And by doing that, you're taking way longer to go through those cycles. So my invitation for you is to allow yourself to be human, allow yourself to go through this stuff, and like, okay, I accept this for what it is, whatever happening, this is life right now. So then you get to move on. You get to shift your energy moving forward. Which would take to point number 3, acceptance. Which is the last stage of grief. I'm extending this to just life. Acceptance is accept what is, accept what's happening. You're not going to a negative space or a positive space. You just connect to the reality. Here, I'm holding a cup, and it's matcha tea. slightly warm. I can't just make stuff up like, oh, this is a cold cup and delusional and do a positive affirmations. No, I'm not telling you to do that. And I'm not saying you this tea is horrible either. We go to extreme and cause unnecessary suffering, so stop that. Accept the moment for what it is. You know, right now Hawaii's kind of cold right now. You know, I'm wearing beanie and I'm wearing this because it's cold. You know, and imagine if I'm sitting here like, why is it so cold? Why is it like I could make myself suffer through it? And in reality, there's people out there in Canada, one of my previous love in Canada, that it's really, really, really cold. Way worse than this. But basically, it's all about what we're saying to ourselves and the kind of thing we make things up to make ourselves suffer. So stop. You just work with it, right? I'm getting warm there now with all these luxury I have. So, and by accepting where you are and accepting what is, and remind yourself this whatever that you're experiencing right now, the nature of life, this gonna pass. This cold, this winter gonna pass. Summer, spring gonna come after winter. It's gonna pass. And I get it, when you in it, when you go through a hard time, it feels like forever. And the mind will naturally have thoughts that will make it even worse and make it feel like forever. But here's the thing, your thought come and go. And your thought does lead up to certain feelings. So if you could allow your thought to just come and go, you can allow your feelings come and go. And the more you allow, the faster it's going to move through you. But the more you're trying to control it, the more you're trying to suffocating it, I believe the longer it's going to take. So, in that, once you allow yourself to be human and move through all this, then, my friend, as humans, that make you, I think, different from animals, to have that awareness. You get to choose. You get to choose where you want to put your energy. You get to choose where you want to put your attentions. And because I am not in the space that you're in right now, it's easy for me to say this. Right? Connect to the vision. Connect to your inspiration. Connect to your why. Connect to what pull you forward. Connect to something that inspired, that bigger than the pain that you are experiencing right now. So if you struggle in your business, go back to why you're doing your business. Connect to that vision. Connect to why you want to help people. And if you struggle in your romantic relationship, connect to why you fell in love with her, with him in the first place. Connect to the vision that you have, so then it can pull you forward. Can you follow me on this? Because as human, we get free will. We get choice. And whatever the choice that you choose right now, that determines who you are. This body is not you. Because if I cut your arms off, you still you. Your thought is not you. It's part of your experience. You are sitting back here, experiencing all of us. So then what is it that you're going to be choosing for yourself right now? What is it that you're going to be choosing for yourself moving forward? And that's how I believe you determine your experience right now and moving forward. Because here's the thing, life going to happen regardless. You get to choose how you're in it. You know, because one thing that guarantee in life, the only thing that guarantee in life is that we're all going to die at some point. We don't know how. But between this moment and the moment that you die, you get to choose how you want to live, how you want to experience life. So, in that, keep perspective, right? I'm actually curious of all this thing that flow through me and come through right now, what landed for you and how it helped you. Please comment below, because I am curious. And if you haven't already, please click on the subscribe button and then set a notification, and we'll let you know when the next video come out. You know, I'm doing these long video once a while now. I'm doing more of the 1 minute AM. And if you have any requests on particular topic that you want me to share my perspective, please feel free to comment and let me know, and then I will make that for you. Because the goal is to connect and to transform, you know, to bring more light and love in the world in the best way I can. So thank you so much for being here and for connecting with me. And feel free to share this video to however many heart that you think is going to be helpful. All right, until the next AM, I'll see ya.